If you follow me on my social media channels, which you probably should, then you already know that my Lumia 950, which was my daily driver, died on me a few weeks ago, and so I decided to buy an LG G6 instead. And if you're wondering why I chose the G6 instead of something like the Galaxy S8 or a OnePlus 5, and how it holds up against the competition about 4 months after its release, then I'm Martin from TechAltar, and you've come to the right place. It seems to me like in the internet, the dust has kind of settled on the flagship smartphone market of the first half of this year. And the verdict online goes a little something like this. If you want the most futuristic device on the planet, then just get the Galaxy S8. But if you don't mind trading a copycat design for really good value, then just get the OnePlus 5. But I would like to add the LG G6 to this conversation. For a start, it's actually currently cheaper in most countries than even a OnePlus 5. I bought mine for 479 euros in Germany, but they are currently available for as little as 424 euros on Amazon. At this price, the G6 is up against mid-range phones, which makes this a crazy good deal. But the price isn't the only good thing about the G6. The phone really has two main standout features: the tall screen and the dual camera. First, let's talk about that screen and the body in general. Now, a ton of reviewers said that it felt like a not so polished version of a Galaxy S8, and I certainly see where that would come from. This one has a very similar tall screen with very narrow bezels and a glass sandwich design, but it's thicker than the S8 and it doesn't have the same striking curves and edges. But you know what? In my book, that is a win for the LG. While the design of the S8 might be the one that your heart desires, I think it is the G6 design that your rational brain should convince you to get. The S8 is the most fragile phone ever made, according to some people on the internet. And while I don't know if that is entirely true, I personally know 2 people who cracked their curved screens. Plus, just look around on YouTube and you'll see that people like Jaime Rivera from Pocket Now, as well as John Rettinger from Techno Buffalo, have already broken theirs. So for clumsy old me, and I imagine most other people as well, the fact that the LG G6 is certified drop and shockproof, while also giving you a really firm grip with the thick sides, makes this a less desirable, but a much more durable phone than the S8. Still, as with any other phone, I did experiment with cases, and I found a very nice and very simple one from Minimal that I linked below, but I eventually ended up going back to sticking an ungrip on the back of my phone for that added flexibility. If you don't know ungrip yet, then make sure to check out my video about it right here and let me know what you think. Anyway, functionally, the G6 still offers all of the benefits of this 2017 design trend. The tall screen is high-res, bright, and huge, while also being easy to navigate with one hand, except for maybe that top part, of course. And while my heart weeps for the loss of a replaceable battery, we did get really premium build quality and also waterproofing in exchange. So yeah, I really like the body here. The other main selling point of the G6 is the wide-angle camera, and I initially thought I might take a few shots with it and then the magic would kind of fade away, but over the last few weeks I actually took about 30% of my photos in this mode, which is pretty crazy, but as it turns out, a wide-angle camera lets me take a lot of photos that simply wouldn't have been possible with any other phone, and it makes anything look dramatic. So to me, a camera guy, this is actually the main selling point of the G6. Now, the image quality of either of these cameras is pretty good, but not quite on the same level as that of the best competitors like the Galaxy S8, the Google Pixel, or recently even the HTC U11. Photos in good lighting usually work well, but the dynamic range could use a boost. Low light shots are fine but not striking, and while photos look great at first glance, which is really all you need for social media, zooming in often shows you images that just aren't as clean as they should be. Again, there are no glaring issues, but when looking purely at image quality, there are better options out there. Also, that front-facing camera looks like it's straight out of a 2014 phone, so if you love your selfies or your vlogs, this is probably not the phone for you. Videos shot on the LG G6, on the other hand, are actually very good looking, thanks in part to the optical image stabilization, as well as a dedicated manual mode for videos, so that's good. And while we are at manual modes, LG has actually put together what might be my favorite camera app of any phone yet. It is very logically laid out. I don't have to tap a button or swipe around to switch between photos and videos. It has a fantastic manual mode that lets you get as granular with settings as you want, and the photo previews next to the viewfinder are just the best. Apart from that ugly back button that looks like it's straight out of the Jelly Bean days, I really wouldn't change a thing about the app itself. So the camera is really a huge hit and somewhat of a miss at the same time. If all you're looking for is the highest quality photos, then the G6 won't be the best pick for you. But for me, image quality is, well, good enough, and the wide-angle lens plus the great app far outweigh any of the shortcomings. Everything else on the G6 falls into the category of good enough and doesn't really warrant any in-depth coverage, I think. While performance with the Snapdragon 821 and 4 gigs of RAM might not make this the fastest phone on the planet, I've yet to find any task that the phone didn't handle with ease. Keep in mind, I don't play games on my phone, so your mileage may vary, but web browsing, social media, and the UI in general all feel very zippy. And while we are at the UI, I would call LG's software skin something like inoffensive. I'm not madly in love with it, and as a creature of habit I did end up slapping a launcher on it, but I have also never found it to get in the way too much. Apart from a few minor annoyances, the built-in apps work well and look quite modern, and there are a few handy tricks, like the optional button to bring down the notification shade, which is very handy for a phone this tall. So overall, it does the job. Battery life is something I'd call slightly above average. I've so far always gotten through a full day without issues, and I usually get a little over 4 hours of screen on time by leaving everything on its default settings, so it's really nothing to complain about. Overall, I think I would prefer this phone over most flagship competitors, even if it wasn't priced as aggressively as it is. But with the recent price cuts, I think the tall but durable design coupled with the wide-angle camera make this one of the best deals in tech right now. So this really means two things. First, if you're looking for a great phone right now, go ahead and buy the G6. Second, the LG V30 will be released in less than a month here in Berlin, and if LG takes this existing phone, improves its image quality, puts a new processor in it, and then actually doesn't mess up the marketing around it, like it did with the G6, which was barely promoted at all, then I think it will create an even more exciting package. I'll of course also cover the LG V30 event, so if you're interested in my coverage, then be sure to follow me on my social media channels. I am TechAltar everywhere, and I post a ton of cool behind the scenes sort of stuff over there. And also subscribe to me on YouTube. And let me know in the comments below or over at Twitter what you thought about this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.